Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel and another episode of Sundazed and Confused, number 121. I'm Smart Poker, and as always, my wife, Crispy Wannabes, here is with me.
Cheers, everybody. Smizzle, pizzle, and crizzle whizzle here to get down. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday and getting high and chilling out. Happy to see everybody in the chat. I see Ice and Ice, Small Tubes, Penny Pebble Rippler, Operation Annihilation, Artman. How you doing? Flower Felon, Fazoli, G-Bay. It's good to see aliens, guys. Click the link. Come on, get high with us. Share your gardens. Hang out.
We just pinned a message. I think it's pinned.
Yeah, Smart's got it on. We
rolled up a grease monkey.
Grease monkey, that funky monkey.
Yeah, it is pretty funky. Yeah. I like this grease monkey's a hard nug, man. I like it though. It burns great. Maybe it isn't as strong as some of the other strains, but I really enjoy it. Like for a daytime while you're working. We're getting seriously low on cannabis. We got to get this room done and get something going.
Smart and is in slight panic mode. I'm not gonna panic yet. We saved, and you know what? Like right now, I always say, why not smoke the big buds first and then save the little shit for last, and live for today. But I am so grateful. My husband is the absolute opposite and says, "We'll smoke those small buds first." Now we are smoking those big, fat, best, beautiful buds that but we're finally getting to enjoy them. They're a little old, but they're so fire still. Hey, XYZ, how you doing today? XY in the house. Artman's joining us. Okay, Jace. We're having a party now. Cheers, fellas.
Yes.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Oh, man, I'm tired. I've been busting my ass all morning.
That sounds like Smart. He's been busting his ass all morning, too.
I saw that on Instagram. Looks like getting the grow room ready, huh?
Oh, my goodness. It's coming together so nicely. I feel like, I don't know. I feel I'm so
Won't be long. Here it comes. Good thing you know a good drywall guy, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm plastering it up tight. All smooth walls. They're turning out beautiful. We'll be able to paint them. They'll be real nice, easy to wipe down like glass,
So yeah, Smart's putting all his talents into the room where he's going to shine in his other talents and growing. I cannot wait to get our tent up and going. XYZ, it's bugging you too a little bit not to be having you feel less.
Yeah, I'm not around though, so it wouldn't matter anyways. I've been on the road for the past 3.5, 4 weeks almost. But that doesn't stop me ever.
No, it doesn't.
When do you get to go home, man?
This next Saturday.
Oh. One more week, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we saw, this is on my mind, that Midwest lost his crop.
Oh, yeah. To mold, Midwest Outlaw.
Yeah, lost their whole crop to mold.
Yeah, I heard that on the Caribou Heart show. I saw him in chat, and that's a hurt piece. And I was like, when I saw that, I told Smart, I'm like, you losing a harvest can really affect you down the road. Like right now, Smart's panicking because we're running low on bud, and it is because we lost our last harvest. It wasn't to mold, but nonetheless, it sucks. It's a hurt piece to lose your whole harvest.
It does. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Is he a home grower or is he a commercial grower?
He's a home grower.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming now. This isn't assume. I assumed that it was his home, but yeah. Well, I hope it wasn't commercial because that could be even more devastating, and that got a trickle down effect to all the patients that aren't gonna get that good medicine.
Yeah.
So I bet you're getting very motivated to finish that room there, Smite.
Oh yeah, yep. I'll have most of it done after this show today, and then I can start painting. And I got to figure something out for the floor. So on the floor, they had the old school, like this house is old. They had the hardwood floors. They were pretty nice actually, but the assholes went before us and put down new carpeting before they sold us the house. So they put a million fucking staples in padding on the floor. It's all brand new. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I got to figure something out, man. I don't really feel like pulling 1,000 staples. Then I got to put the floor down. I'm not sure.
Then we would have to sand the floor that's going to have all the holes or fill it. We're not sure what kind of shape it would be in. And I don't know if I even say asshole, but maybe they were being very efficient and overly.
I've never seen so many staples and padding in my life, and I've been doing this a long time. I mean, it just looks like the gun went off, man. I'm telling you, every you guys are going to think I'm lying, but I bet you in a 2.5 by 2.5 foot, there was well over 100 staples, man. And the
you must have had a Ryobi staple gun or something.
Oh,
should have got the DeWalt. Should have got the DeWalt.
It must have got, it was stuck on wide open or something, man. But anyhow, I looked at that. My stomach. I told my wife I could see us sitting here for a week straight, just pliers and screwdriver pulling that, and
that reminds me of drywall back in the day before they had sheetrock. They used to use that lath and plaster, with the little shims, and they would just smear it on the wall. That shit's nasty. That stuff's hard to get out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's nasty.
Get a big enough magnet.
I just throw a whole bunch of it to the curb, man. Bag after bag after bag.
Just get a big magnet, Smart. Big one. Really big one.
That will pull staples out of a wooden floor.
Yeah.
Damn, that's going to be heavy.
I thought about a shingle ripper, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
I'll get a shingle ripper and just go nuts.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to resurface the floor, and that might be more work than actually the removing the staples.
I was actually thinking
you just cut them in half. You'll have to go back in with a diagonal side cutter and pull them all off.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
And you got those little pieces of padding all over the place. They inevitably get throughout the house as you walk.
What are your options? A laminate floor then, or?
Well, once I pick it all up and pull all the staples, then my options are some maybe cheap. It's on the second floor of an old house. I don't want to put real hard wood or anything crazy heavy. So I'm thinking a cheap laminate, because I'm gonna sell this house. That's one reason why I can't do too much moderation. It's got to be part. I got to be able to convert it back pretty quick to sell it. I can't have
And it sucks to have carpeting in a grow room.
Yeah.
It's so horrible. We want to get the carpet out because in our old place, in our old apartment, we threw carpet chilled on carpet to grow in that room. And it's just so much easier.
Why don't you just put down carpet and then put a plastic sheet over it?
Well, that's what's down right now, carpeting.
Oh,
I thought about doing that, and I thought,
I think the easiest option is to rip up the carpet shield and just reapply new.
Or you can wait until you sell it to redo the floor.
That's what I'm thinking. When I go to sell it, tear the grow room down,
Just
tear
wait.
it off, put some. Then I'll throw a piece of carpet down for the next people or whatever, But anyhow, I guess that's neither here nor there. It's just
it's one more hurdle in our grow to get our grow done.
Yeah, and then I got to go get me some wood. I got to build a 4x4. We're going to use one of the 4x4s we have. So we're going to build a 4x4 table that we can put a bucket under it. I got to work on getting me a tray to put in there. And so
we're going to put the draining system in.
Yeah, and work on that.
That's exciting too.
Yeah, it'll be there.
That'll be the biggest quality of life improvement. I mean, you might still decide to manually water, but just
I'm gonna have to at first,
And to be quite honest, I want to manually hand water this next grow. Now I'll be halfway through and it cursing myself. Why in the hell would I want to be hand watering these plants? I'm sick of it. But I'm saying I'm going on the record right now. I cannot wait. I can't wait to
I'll hold you to that.
sit there and hang out and hand water my plants.
So
Well, you still could
Jace,
do like a stock tank, and you could even do like a chiller and have it recirculate, but just use that to pump your water in for your hand watering, like into a can or something. That way you can mix
Yeah.
up a big batch at once.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have a reservoir. I'd like to, have a big reservoir. We're gonna have a little more room because, like Smut said, we're just gonna go with a one.
For me to have a
for right now.
reservoir, I'm going to put like a 20-gallon tote inside of a 30-gallon tote. That way I have redundancy there, something
Very
breaks.
good idea.
It's got another bigger tote inside. Totes ain't cheap, so it's worth it though, It's worth it. And they're always good to have,
Well, the heavy duty ones.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I used to have laminate floor in here, that wood laminate, before I got this ceramic tile or this whatever this wood looking stuff is. And I would still get kind of leery every time I watered in here. You spill a little on the floor, and that stuff don't do too well with water on it, and it'll still buckle up on you.
The cheap shit is garbage, yeah. Like the stuff we put downstairs is bamboo, and it has like a rubber gasket when they lock together, and
nice.
It's supposed to be like waterproof. We don't even have a dog, but dog
up to like a certain amount of hours. I think it was 24, 48.
Yeah, waterproof for a lot. And you know what? That shit, I shit you not. Some of the pieces when you're cutting it like spark. It's so freaking hard, man.
Wow.
Here's what you do, Smut. You get yourself a square of linoleum, not too expensive, lay it down. Then when it comes time to sell the house, you lay down a better floor. But linoleum is perfect for a grow.
You're right.
You mop up anything,
And you know what I could do with that art, man? It sounds kind of corny and it would look a little odd, but it would work in theory. Is I could always put like a quarter round on the edges around the room, cut a little big and let it go up on there. And now you've created a massive bowl,
Sure. Yeah, that'd be sealed, yeah. But linoleum's that'd be it, man. That's your solution right there.
And then you can take 20 gallons and spread it out.
That's a good solution. I like it.
Run it up onto the wall a little bit all around, It can look a little
bit. And it'll last you a while too,
Yeah.
5 years
to
anyway.
Be functional and clean. It's hard to keep clean with they had like wallpaper on the ceiling that was painted and all. It was just wild, man. I found big portions of the wall totally delaminated. I had to get 3-inch screws with they call them plaster washers. They're just like a big metal plate. If you ever put a roof on and use wind locks, you'll know what I'm talking about. But
I know
exactly I had to reattach some walls and shit. When you get into old houses, man, you just run into shit after shit after shit,
It's crazy, but I would be in that room so much, taking care of the plants, mixing newts, hanging out, just general shenanigans in the grow room. And I never realized how crooked it was until we were hanging the drywall. And I was like, wow. So it's nice and tight now. It's nice and straight.
And that's what I told her. Like when we're in there working and I see all that, it makes me not want to work in my grow room. Like I was disconnected from that room because I knew it needed so much shit done. And it just always bugged me. As soon as I go in, the first thing I would do is look up at the ceiling, look at the angles. I knew I couldn't wipe them down like I wanted to and clean the way I want. And it feels so good. My wife said it. We're going to be excited. Hopefully, what I was thinking about when I was working today is what seeds to pop next.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be like the big. Like I'm already stressing about it, like in a good way. But there's a lot to go through, and me and Smut have our own opinions, and then we got to make a decision together.
Well, you can split it. I mean, you can do half Smut, half Crispy choice.
Oh yeah, Smut usually. I mean, he's awesome. He's like, I want to grow these, and then whatever you want. He always gives me my choice of what I want to grow.
We'll split them in there, and we always get bragging rights when mine or hers does better.
But it's very difficult because there are a lot of awesome genetics to consider, and we're lucky. It's just I feel so blessed. And a lot of that is because of all the yins in the chat and here on the panel, hooking us up and helping us out.
Hey, Artman wants
Big
to show
love.
his grow. Let's let him show his grow so he can show Puffy.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
You want to do that now, Art?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Oh, this is exciting because this is like
Sunday lights on day.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you've got all your new
Yeah.
stuff going on.
These are 2 Flow OGs. This is the tall Flow OG, which will be getting cold when these have roots. The Bambalam that I had there was cold, but not before I took 2 clones and started it there. So it just wouldn't have worked with my schedule. But anyway, I saved the genetics though, so that's all that matters. Whoa, here, check this out.
Nice.
Oh, big pimpin'.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh
Looks
yeah, it's feeling nice, feeling good.
How's your
Sexy.
nighttime temps doing in your
I get up this morning. It was 75 in here with 50% relative humidity.
Perfect.
I was very happy. Let me tell you, it was better than 86 with 50% humidity. You know, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
And this is for Puffy D here. This one in the front is the Golden Slurricane. He crossed Golden Bud, I believe it was called. Now, tell us, Puffy. I'm a spacehead. And Slurricane. He'll straighten me out pretty quick. But she's doing real good. She's very, very thick. She did come up some. She's just breaking the second scrog. I was thinking about moving this one, but that thing is so stiff. It's crazy. I've never had a branch this stiff. I mean, they are just solid as hell. So they're going to be some big, big colas. And she looks good though.
Oh, she's beautiful. Beautiful.
There you
And
go,
I gotta
Puffy.
say, Sundazed and Confused number 121. I feel like I've been seeing the Golden Slurricane for many, many shows. Like she's come back around, and I think that's awesome. It's good to see Puffy in the chat.
I remember when that plant seeded and he got the seeds from it. It was while we were doing this show.
Cool.
Yeah,
he said this is a pain med too, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The plant that got the seeds was beautiful. And his plants were growing so rapidly and shit. And that's what was exciting about the seeds is like they come from good genetics, Plus he used that for his medicine.
That's what you just said, Art Man. You're gonna, hopefully that'll be some good medicine for you too.
And I'll press some rosin out of it.
Yeah.
But the height is really good for this particular scrog. It's doing, for this setup. So that's pretty cool. I thought it would be really, really short, but it came up about 8 to 10 inches. So it did good. I'm happy. Oh, shit.
It was stout the whole veg time. It was stout as could be. And you know why? It's got some fat buds, man.
Yeah.
That's why it's got them hard stems. I mean, that thing's going to get loaded. It's stacked beautifully. The internodal spacing, I foresee 20 inches of just loaded buds.
Yeah, it looks good. You did a good job. And this one here is the Bambalam. Now I took out the Flow OG in that back corner. It was reaching above the light and it was annoying me. And I wanted to make more room for this. I've got some Flow OG jars, so that's okay. But this one, she's growing quite well.
Oh wow.
Stretching way over.
He damn near ate the whole space that other plant was in, huh?
Just about, yeah. And now it's still got 4 weeks to go, so I don't think it'll go all the way to the wall, but it's doing pretty good. But this growth up here, this is the main growth right here, this one here. And it's going to be one of those sideways, where that's the main stem. What do you call that?
Phototropism?
No, the main stem of a plant.
The apical meristem?
Yeah, that's it. The atypical merit. That's what this is. So it's going to come out sideways, and all these buds are going to come up like crazy. I love doing that.
I do too.
But the scrog's working real good, though. That's what she's for. So I'm happy. I'm happy with everything that's going on in here.
Plants look happy.
Yeah, they do. You're doing awesome. And that
I look happy too.
Yes, you do.
Well, yeah.
Split is going to be like making your job easier for you. You know, your skills really shine when everything's all firing on all cylinders. It just makes it more enjoyable to grow.
It does.
It really does.
No one wants to battle issues.
No one wants to have problems like that. And when you're battling the environment, I think that sucks, you know, and I'm so happy to see that in your grow space.
Thanks, Puffy.
I like seeing when someone shares their genetics, their seeds, or they win seeds, or whatever the case may be, that someone's always like, hey, let's show them the plants. I think that's a big thing. That's one of the things we talked about with people sending out testers, you know. I think a lot of us, we're excited to go and show the person, look what's going on.
Oh, I know. That's another thing. Like when you're picking out seeds, you want to do a good job too. Like, well, we do. We try to be like a little bit of good stress, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun, but you're like, oh, I hope everything goes all right, so we can really
represent our friends.
Them well. Exactly.
We like to get the feminized first, I guess. Hey, we lost somebody. Who joined?
We lost XYZ. I'm thinking maybe he had technical.
Still in chat.
He is still in chat.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's still there.
What happened?
He's at work.
Yeah, he's traveling, and safe travels too. But
Cheers.
Okay, Jace, I see your those buds are stacking up nice. They're fattening up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did a little experiment. I did on some of, let's see, my Jack, and then half of the Acapulco Gold. I'm trying out back building or bud building, you know, where you cut the top off a little bit. So I'm gonna see if that does anything.
I did that.
Did it work out good?
Well, I had people telling me it was bro science, but I'll tell you what, those buds that I cut back got really fat, and they looked like fists, or actually, Seed Person called them crowns because they were more looked like crowns. There's like 4 or 5 separate. I think it worked myself, but I don't have hard numbers to prove it. I'm kind of a science guy, and it's hard for me to, it's objective, really.
Look at that. Those are filling up quite nicely there, Jace.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jace,
those are the ones
we did that before, man. We cut our buds back because they got too close to the light, you know, and we had such a massively full, we had 2 tents busting full. So I was like, I don't care what happens, you know? So I went ahead and cut them, and it's same thing as what Art said. Those ones, they stopped growing altogether, and they budded back a little bit. But after talking to some people, I guess what I was led to believe is that you may notice that they fatten up there, but when you do that, you're kind of hurting your plant. So it's actually taking energy away from some of your other colas around it to make that happen. So even though it shows up there, it's at a loss to somewhere else in the
net
plant.
Loss. That's what I was told. Net loss.
Yeah, everywhere that you cut a plant, no matter what people say, your plant has to spend energy to fix that. And that there's only so much energy to go around. So instead of just creating buds, now it has to back off of that process a little bit. And now that's not to say it might not make some great buds, or, people say that stress is good. It makes more terps. I don't know if that's true, but I do think overall yield, like Artman just said, does affect. And I'm not saying you did wrong. I think it's important to note that so someone doesn't walk away from the show thinking I'm cutting all the tops of my buds off. You know what I mean?
And
like I said, it was just kind of an experiment, seeing people do it, and that's why I didn't do it to all of them. Like this is
Your buds were too tall.
Gold.
They were too high, right? I mean, that's the problem you got.
Yeah, like especially those. But this is the Acapulco Gold. This is more just kind of. I only did half of this one, so I did 4 of the 8 colas. So I'll see, how it goes. Like I did this one, that one back there, and that one. So that one you can see it's pointier than the other one. Yeah, I didn't cut much off. It was like maybe a quarter to a half inch, just the tip.
They're loving life, buddy. You're doing good.
I like your experiment. That's fun. You'll get
might as well. I mean,
you'll get to come back to episode 121 and compare when you're for your next grow too. Or how it all ends up.
Yeah, those I don't even know if I can reach over there, but those blue dreams over there, they're fat. They're just round and squatty.
Oh yeah, that's
Beautiful.
I told you it was going to get like that, man. When I saw them starting to build, I said those are going to be your chunkiest, roundest, freaking lumpers, man. Hey, Puffy Grows is asking if you're in Oklahoma, Jace.
I am, yeah. Oh, here we go.
Puffy's in Oklahoma.
There you go. That's looking good.
Yeah, those are chunky.
They are.
Ugh.
They have
You're
a
running
great
out of
build.
tent though.
Man, yeah.
But you're out of the bolt, so you should be good.
Yeah, they're done getting vertical a long time ago. I got some yo-yos. I bought a big old pack of yo-yos over here. So I need to start, see, like, I don't know if you can see, but like this one, it's starting to sag a little bit out to the left. So I need to support it up before it topples over on me. I was going to ask, what's the best way to mount those at the top? I mean, you need something to latch onto up there. I was thinking about running a string, or, I mean, honestly, like I was thinking like running a trellis up there to latch onto, but I think that would cover up too much light. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's
You
a
can
hard
run a
one.
string, man. You run a string from pole to pole, find a way to keep it from sliding down, and then just tie off to that string.
Yeah, I was thinking running like caddy corner on each side, so putting like an X. You know, I could even use ratchet straps like the light hangers,
Yeah.
and then do it that way. But that's my next project. I had to come in here today. I did a deep clean on my res and my emitters. I had to.
They clog
I
it.
had, no, not really. I just took them all out. Periodically I'll take them outside and I'll put them on the garden hose sprayer on the jet stream and just blast them out. They'll get some biofilm that shoots out a little bit. So I just like to clean that out. And then I did 2 batches. I did some hypochlorous acid and then I did another batch of hydrogen peroxide, just running through it. I took the emitters off and just laid them down in the tray and let that run just to kind of cleanse out the system, and then flushed it back out with some newts before I put them back on the plants.
I'm surprised you're getting biofilm, Jace. I mean, don't you? You're chilling your res. Yeah, I see the chiller there in the corner. What are you keeping your res at? You're using hypochlorous and hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, well, I was. It's not bad. Like I said, there's only been once that it was really kind of backing up on me, but I'm not running anything right now because I had those mosquito dunks going on. So I'm not running any hydrogen
What
peroxide.
temp are you? What temp are you at?
I've got it set at 66.
Okay.
By the time it gets to the emitters, you know, it's warmed up a little bit. Plus, you got that water that's already in the line.
So,
Do you
Jace, not
use
to be
any
a
bennies?
backyard.
Huh?
Use any kind of beneficials like mycorrhizal or anything like that?
No, I'm just using those mosquito dunks now, which is a bacteria, so I didn't want to run any hydrogen peroxide or anything through it while I was doing that.
Well, I don't run hydrogen peroxide. I run. I have Mammoth P is one of them, and Orca is another one.
I've
And
got some Mammoth P over here.
now I run. When I don't use those products, I get a buildup of an orange bacteria or something in the side of my res on my pumps and stuff. But when I do run that product, I've been told that that's not logical or anything because I don't have soil or cocoa. But I think it displaces the bad stuff. I notice there's more of it when I don't run those products.
So,
That's
Say what
Jace,
else I've been.
I got a quick question for you, Jace. Next run, you gonna run your? I see you got your fan and filter in your tent, and you're sucking on it. Are you gonna run your? You're leaving a lot of height on the table there, buddy.
Well, this is a Gorilla, so it's 8'10". It's got the extension on it. That's why I got it, so I could recover that. I don't plan on growing plants ever this big again ever. These are all sativas, and I vegged them longer. I was vegging them planning on that strawberry cough to not be in the tent. That's why I vegged them so long, because I was kind of just preparing for that plant not to make it. But they filled out real good. So if that plant was still here, it'd been a little tricky. It'd been a little crowded in here. But I got me a 2x4 I put in over here.
Okay. What are you gonna do with that?
that's going to be my dry tent.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, I got the filter in there. I got the AC Infinity with the. I use my old controller from my Gorilla and put that over here. This is the first gen, so this is only Bluetooth. The new one I got Wi-Fi and has 8 ports, and then it also does VPD triggers. But yeah, so I just ducted it out, and then I had to run a Y splitter there to run it out the back.
Ah.
So
I
I got
like
both of them. Yeah, I got both tents venting out the one.
Do you have to have both tents on the same amount of exhaust, lest one get pushed back into it?
I was wondering about that. I haven't noticed it yet. I would think the air would go to the path of least resistance, so I think it would want to go straight out.
Yeah, I think your carbon filter being inside your tent the way you have it, I think that's keeping it flowing out instead of into the other tent.
Or at least only backing up to the filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Jace? This is how it starts, brother. You talk the wife into it, say, hey, babe, I'm just putting a small tent in here to dry and cure in. You know, no big deal. And then, before you know it, one day, boom, there's a light in there. And you got yourself a 2x2 and a bunch of clothes and shit.
Damn it, Smart. You think just like I do, because I was thinking that same damn thing.
Hey, Jay,
Man,
I got life for you. I got one sitting in the closet.
I might do that because I'll tell you what, this 2x4, I can tell already, it looks like a piece of cake to grow on that thing. It's so small, and I can touch the back of the wall, getting in there. Get 2 of those in here.
We knew you would do that. We predicted it. You knew that.
Well, I could ditch the 5x. Yeah, I was thinking I could ditch the 5x5 and then run 2 2x4s in here, and my life would be a lot easier.
Yeah, I like the 2x4.
That carbon filter I got, it's cool because it's refillable, and they give you some extra charcoal with it.
Nice.
That's nice.
Because those are only good for so long before they quit pulling the smell out, and you got to buy a whole new filter. So these are, I guess you can take off part of the filter, and then it comes with the extra charcoal there, and then they give you they give you a funnel and a little scooper to refill it back in, and then you can buy these refills here.
I bet you that's a messy adventure.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely glove up.
I was looking at one of those because on one of my tents, I noticed it's starting to the carbon's starting to wear out, I guess, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought my humidifier was hitting my fan.
Well, by the way, Jason, your grow is doing great.
Thanks.
It's just packing it in, man. That's going to be fantastic.
I think I got a hold on the mosquitoes. I mean, they're not gone all the way, but they're definitely thinning out. I can hardly ever see them in here anymore. So I'm hoping one more week on the mosquito dunks, and then I can go back to my normal, just hydrogen peroxide. I might give them a heavy dose of hydrogen peroxide on my first watering, and then just go back to my standard SOP on that.
How long does it have to harvest?
So these are, well, that's why I got that dry tin. I've got 4 different strains in here. I think the Jack has the shortest flowering time. It's 8 to 9 weeks, and then I can't remember. One of them is, I think it's the Laughing Buddha. I think it's 10 to 12 week strain. So
12.
Yeah, that's going to be a long one. And I could tell too, because the buds are smaller and it took longer for the pistils to develop. So I can tell it's behind the other plants by a good week or so.
Now you want to be careful putting fresh buds into a tent with anything hanging in it, anything that's been drying.
Yeah.
I ruined a whole batch with mold that way. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do them each at one time. I mean, if it's the next day, that's fine, but don't spread them out too much.
Well,
Scott and I learned that the hard way.
Yep.
Oh, you guys did too? Okay.
Yeah, early on we did that before. We ruined buds like that before early on.
Yeah.
Some of them are about to come out totally out of the closet like that day or the next day, and then I come and hung more in there, thinking, "Oh, tomorrow I'll yank those ones out." And when we went back to get them, they had all reconstituted and were real soft again, and they never did come back. They just turned to they smelled like hay forever,
So you're saying like if you chop a plant and you got it in there for several days and then you chop another one and put it in with that older plant, then don't do that?
No,
Yeah, don't do that.
do not do that. Dry one completely. Yeah, you
It's
dry
like
one.
it's like putting a piece of bread in with your dry cookies. The cookies take on that moisture, and your bread gets hard. It's kind of the same thing, man. It'll leave the moisture from the new plant and go right into the drier buds that have been drying for days, and then that messes everything up.
Yeah.
I'm glad I told you that, dude.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good to know because that's kind of why I bought that tent too. So it's either kind of all or nothing on that.
Well, what you could do is you could take two plants, the two that are done the earliest or whatever, toss them in that little one, let them go another week in here, cut these ones and put them in this tent. You know what I mean? And then
have them in two separate places.
So you didn't do wrong. You now have the option of leaving one tent go a little longer, or one plant or two plants or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
Getting a little spotting on that one. I think I upped my CalMag a little bit. I think it's going a little low on the CalMag. I mean, I'm following the.
Are you adding bloom boosters at all?
No, I'm sticking to Doc's feeding schedule, and I think we were talking about that. You know, it was only coming out at like 800 to 900 parts per million, or not parts per million, EC. So I've been increasing it. So I'm back up to 1200 now. I did like kind of what you did, Smart. You know, I basically mixed like a double strength batch and just diluted it down until I got to around 1200.
I always see that whenever people try to add a lot of like cool bloom in our instance, it comes antagonistic with the calcium. I'm not sure exactly how that chemical shit works there, but I just know in my head too much bloom boosters will make your plant look like it's starving for calcium, you know, even though there's plenty in the mix, man. And I'm like, that can't be calcium. Then it was explained to me, it's not that it's not there, it's just it's not available because of all the other shit. And once I got rid of my cool bloom, boom, it was done. I never had that issue again. So it was like cause and effect was explained to me, and then I watched it happen. So it's like, that's awesome to, you know, figure that out. It was busting my balls. I mean, I couldn't figure it out for a while.
Yeah, you hate seeing it. Of course, you don't want to blemish at all on your plants, but shit happens, you know, and you'll get a spot here and there.
So, Jace, on your 2x4, yeah, that'll only fit two plants, two of those big boys. You only get two in there, man.
Yeah, well, if I wanted to do like a double tier, I'd have to cut them. I mean,
unless you run them real short, like
because I mean the cola itself is only, I don't know, maybe 2 foot tall. So I would, if I could cut it, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's ways to, you know, I could just cut them down individually. I like to hang the whole plant if I can, or at least in big chunks of it. It makes it easier.
Well, and it seems to do a little better. I mean, if you're doing it in that type of tent, and depending on your lung room and your humidity in there, will really determine.
Yeah, the humidity here has been all over the place. It's been raining off and on, and I took my humidifier out, and I thought I could retire it for the grow season, but it started getting dry in here again, man. It was like 45 to 50%, and I'm running a little bit warmer, which is too low. So I had to get it back out and plug it back in to keep the VPD back up in here.
That's quite crazy. I would imagine them plants would be dumping humidity into that tent. But I guess you're exhausting outside, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I'm running probably low 80s in here, so I try to keep it around, I don't know, like 55 to 60% humidity. It's like in that 1.2 to 1.5 BPD range.
Yeah.
Later in flower, I'll go on the higher side. Keep that bud right away.
Yeah.
Cheers to our buddy. Heli Doc's out there got a good point for you here, man. This might help you out, as he said about backdraft dampers for that Y. Cheers, Heli Doc.
Cheers, buddy.
Dude's a hero, man. He's flying around them things, them helicopters and like Vietnam and shit. That's wild. I see those videos on TV and I think, you know, that's takes a special person. I don't fly nothing, so you ain't catching me.
Well, Heli Doc comes from my neck of the neighborhood. Not quite where I live. He lives in a much better place, but he's out west.
Yeah, I thought about getting those backdraft dampers. They had a Y splitter that had them built into it, and that thing was freaking expensive. I might just see if I can get like an inline one or something.
So let me ask you this: that doesn't in any way knock down the cubic feet per minute that you're exhausting from your tent. It's a one-way valve for air, right? But it
Possibly, but in that little 2x4, I got a 6 inch. I got a Hemi inside of a Pinto in there. That thing's way
Hmm.
oversized. It'll probably implode that thing if I turn it all the way up. But
It
honestly,
will.
yeah, I plan on replacing that with my 5x5 one because that's an old one. I need to get a new filter anyways for that. And I might eventually get a 4 inch exhaust fan. But yeah, it's still running negative pressure, even with that Y splitter and everything in there. So I know it's pulling it out good enough.
I want a Y splitter. I've often had that. Where'd you buy that at? Did you get that from AC Infinity? I think he's.
Crispy Wannabe's favorite manufacturer, AC Infinity.
Ha! She just went to get coffee. She didn't catch that. You have to get her.
Oh man. Yeah, I usually don't buy directly from them because they have a shipping cost, but I bought a bunch of stuff all at once and I got free shipping. So yeah, I got that Y
Eight port.
splitter. Yeah, I got their Pro controller and then or the Pro Plus. It has up to 8 ports, and then I got the carbon filter, the fan, and then I bought the Y splitter, and I bought some of these. I took the hose clamps off of it, but this is just a rubber boot to connect your carbon filter to your exhaust fan. That way you don't have to foil tape it. And
That's
I got
nice.
I got free shipping, and I used a discount code, so I saved like $50 altogether, and the shipping
So,
cost.
so Chase, I was looking at your commenting on your new 8 port unit you have there. I have a couple suggestions for you. You do know they make a relay module for those, right?
Yeah, I've got actually before the old one only had 4 ports, and I had it maxed out. I actually had too many because I'm running 2 clip fans and a humidifier, the
Mm-hmm.
exhaust fan, and the light goes in through it too. So I bought a daisy chain splitter or a connector so I could run both my clip fans on the same port, so it controls them both at the same time.
You could also run your fertigation pump on it too if you want to have like remote control.
Yeah, I thought about that, but the bad thing is I don't think it goes to seconds. It only does minutes at a time.
Oh, that's right. No, it doesn't do seconds. You're right.
Yeah, because there's a ton of settings. There's like an auto, of course, off and on, and then a VPD trigger, a temperature trigger, a humidity trigger, a cycle, and a schedule. I love those controllers, man. You can do so much with them.
Yeah, I got one on each one of my tents. I mean, I
And
also
it's
got
nice to
a
have it on. Yeah, it's nice to have it on Wi-Fi too. That way, you're away from the house and you can just check one. The other one I have is Bluetooth. So like if I'm at work and I can see the temps coming up, I can turn the exhaust fan up if I need to. I mean, the triggers are set, so it should automatically do that. But just in case, you never know what's going to happen.
well, my drying tent's running on an AC Infinity Pro. I'm guilty as charged. I haven't been home for a month and I'm still drying and curing in my 2x4 tent, my drying tent.
Oh man, you're going to be able to go right home and start smoking those dudes.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be dried and cured all at once.
Yep. Just throw them in the jars. Maybe I want to get trim bag though for them because I don't really want to trim on them.
You talking about like a duffel bag looking thing that you throw it in there and shake it around?
I don't know. There's so many different like at the hydro store they have this big contraption that's like got these like wipers and like it goes over like this metal grating and I'm liking
Yeah,
the looks
those
of that.
Yeah, those bolt trimmers. I mean, I've heard mixed reviews on them. It all comes down to like what you're willing to trade off because the bottom line is anytime you use an automatic trimmer of any kind, you're going to lose more than what you'll lose if you hand trim it yourself. I mean, you're going to knock some trikes off of it. You're going to lose a little bit more product, but it's all about the convenience if you're willing to trade off that loss for the convenience of it because you can do it a hell of a lot faster in an
Well,
auto trimmer
yeah,
of some kind.
You are correct.
yeah, I'm okay with losing some product. I mean, I'll just take what's at the bottom, try to sift it and then use the sift to cook something with it.
Yeah, AC Infinity makes one of those buffalo trimmers too. Matter of fact, I was looking at some reviews. I was thinking about buying one because see, I'm lazy. I pay people to come trim mine, but I just can't do it, man. It's just too much for me.
Yeah,
But
those plants, you're going to be in trim jail for like a week if you trim them.
well, that's kind of another reason too. I kind of get aggressive when I take off like the little buds and the stems. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to trim that. I don't want to mess with it. So I'm going more for quality and size because I'm thinking in the long run too. I got to trim this little tiny thing, and I don't want to do it.
You make
Even
hash?
though it's yeah. I got some
Okay.
trimmers here. It's like
Okay.
I think it's $105 a pound. They
Wow.
come to my house. Yeah, they come to my house and trim
Well,
it
that
for
ain't
me. And
bad.
yeah, it's not too bad. It was like 200. Like the last harvest I had a little over 2 pounds, so it was like $210.
Yeah. Well, if you got the money
Yeah,
and your back, now my back screams after a couple pounds.
yeah. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I was helping them while they were doing it, and of course I didn't trim hardly anything that compared to them because they do this for a living.
Right.
But I just even like that little time I was doing it there, I was like, God, I couldn't do this. It would take me like a whole week to do this.
Yeah, it gets
Sure.
ridiculous. I mean,
It can.
yeah. I mean, hell, I got a tent, a 2x4 tent like you got there, Jason. I've got the whole layer of it's just, just bud. I don't know what it looks like. I should have put a camera in before I left, but if I really wanted to know, I could call my roommate and have her take pictures. But I'm not looking forward to that because as soon as I get home, that's what I'm going to have to do. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that after being out for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw they sell these little handheld auto trimmers. They're like shears, but they're kind of expensive. Look like they take your finger off too.
I see. It's called the Trim
No.
Buddy. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah. It comes with like a Kevlar glove.
They better. You need
Yeah.
chainmail.
Yeah.
Oh, there went my finger. I just took the tip. Damn it.
You can't come with armor for a reason.
Yeah, no, I was going to look it up, but since you said it comes with Kevlar, it's like, no. I can
Yeah,
imagine being high and just, there goes a finger.
oh yeah, it's hardcore looking. It's like open blade and everything. There's no guard on it, so yeah, you definitely slip and take a good chunk of your finger off with it, even with that glove on.
Yeah, no, I pass on that. I'll just stick with the bolt trimmer. I'll lose some product, but I don't care.
Yeah, safety first when you're trimming for sure. You're out there.
Yeah,
using it.
especially when you got the bong right next to it and you're smoking off of it.
Yeah, because let's face it, folks. Like we Smart and I anyway, we smoke a lot of weed when we're sitting there trimming buds and hanging out, listening to the radio. We kind of make it like a little party, so it's not as
Monotonous.
yeah. It can be quite daunting a task when you got a nice full tent, which you're truly blessed to have. But then you got to trim it, and it's like, oh my goodness, Smart and I wet trim. And
I've been rethinking my wet trim, man. Someone brought it up to me. I've often heard people say, you got to dry trim, and I never really thought, I thought it was just like bro science or whatever, Now I will say we've wet trimmed a lot of bud that was really good.
killer.
But I heard the reason why. Somebody finally expressed the reason why, and it stuck with me. And they said when you're trimming wet buds, every time you snip a leaf or whatever, there's a mist, and that flies onto your buds, man. And I'm thinking you do a lot of trimming around there, so you're constantly spritzing chlorophyll and shit all over your buds. And at first I kind of dismissed it, and the more I thought about it, I was thinking, we take the time to try and get our lights right and all this stuff right. I got to try the dry trim a few side by sides or whatever and see how I like it. But it's tough with a Canatrol.
Yeah,
I did
I
it
was going to
though.
bring that up.
I did it hanging, and I couldn't tell the difference.
Yep.
I couldn't.
Well,
I dry trimmed one and I wet trimmed the other. They were hanging right next to each other, but I couldn't tell the difference in taste. So maybe my palate isn't developed enough or whatever, sensitive enough.
Smart. I think if you wet trim them with the Canatrol, it advises against doing a dry trim because you're going to dry out all those
Yeah.
leaves.
Yeah, that's a lot of moisture to the machine that it has to handle. You know, if you can get rid of all that moisture, and that's where the problem is. But I think
they have a good pro tip which may help in this, and that would be if we would hang the buds for a 24-hour period and then put them into the canitrol, because it does get.
Puffy makes a good point there. Chlorophyll does
first,
break down. It oxidizes, you know?
Yeah.
So it does break down.
So I don't know. And like Art, man, you said you did a side-by-side, like, and you couldn't tell. I'm thinking
really.
We can go to the trouble and do that. And I'm all for doing the fill canitrol with buds that have not been
that'd be great
all the way, and ones that we
Hell
have,
yeah.
and then a comparison. But I don't think we're going to be able to. I'm not going to be shocked if we can't tell.
So this also goes back to something, and makes my head smoke a little bit. But I remember learning about roots and osmosis and how they take up water, and how some things, how they have, it has to kind of filter through that membrane, which is why some things like heavy metals they can't keep out, and then there's other things that they can. Now, we never have to worry about heavy metals, but as far as other things, like here's a perfect example. You can take a vine around here and cut it with a machete, and you'll get a lot of water out of there that you can actually drink. Now, I wouldn't drink the creek water that the tree's growing beside, but it's been filtered through the tree, so you're good to go when you drink fine water around here. So I look at it like that too. People have this notion that somehow when you use salt nutrients, that your plant draws up salty water, and that's like actually all through them. And it's a little bit different than that. I don't understand it totally, but I do know enough to realize that when we're cutting that, it's mostly going to be natural chlorophyll, filtered water, and there's not going to be any nasty shit in the stuff that's spraying off of your buds,
Yeah, so your roots are basically like little filters, and
Right.
the way they pull the water up is they keep the sugar in the roots so that it's got a higher EC than the root zone, and that's how it pulls it through. But once you, like, for example, one survival tip in Arizona is if you run out of water, you basically tap the cactuses for water.
Yeah, that's it, and it is filtered water. There's a lot of things like if you're a survivalist or have ever been like a woodsy person, you'll know that certain mosses also filter water well, and you can gather up a lot of moss and squeeze the water right out of it, right into your mouth. Very potable.
I was watching a video about they had the owner of Canitrol. He was on Garden Talk, that guy, Mr. Grow It. So he was talking about his product, and he was saying, Canitrol runs on a dew point. It's not about temperature and humidity, but like on the factory setting, it's like a 54 degree dew point, which is air temperature of 68 and an RH of 62. And he was saying it takes like 4 days for it to dry. And I was like, man, that's fast. 4 days.
Yeah.
It is fast. It's literally smokable bud in 8 days.
Hey, Jace, do you want to know a fun fact? Guess who the first channel was to interview the inventors of Canitrol? Right here, the Smart Poker YouTube.
Smart Poker? Hell yeah.
As soon as we bought one, we invited him on, and him and his wife came on and told us they fielded all of our questions. And what sucks is we get shit on by YouTube. They constantly tell me that they don't recommend our stuff or anything because of our violations against community guidelines and shit. So that's why we don't grow. We grow like maybe 3 or 5 people a month, it seems like, because they just don't recommend us. But Mr. Grow It, he's got a huge following somehow, and so everybody,
he's got good information.
I've had like 10 people tell me that. They're like, hey, you ought to check out Mr. Grow It. They interviewed them. I'm like, really? We did that like 2 years ago, man. But we don't get any exposure like that.
If you watch his channel, like he's like real cautious. Like he doesn't even say the word cannabis. Like he'll edit it out, or they just don't say it at all. They don't show plants at all. I mean, I like him, but that's why I like coming here because like channels like his, and he does like he'll show plants on his other channel, but I mean, this is all about growing in the community and the talk and everything. And I mean, his channel's cool too. You know, you get a lot of useful information there, but I don't know, it just feels more
Exactly.
commercialized to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
And it's all about the sponsorships there too.
Yeah. They we have 3 Canatrol Stang, man. Bought 2, and then when they ended our collaboration with them, they said thanks. Talk to you later.
They gave us another one.
Here's a free Canatrol.
So they were really good
Wow.
to us too. So
That was nice.
I love their product. You know,
Yeah.
I stand behind their product.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it. You know, like those guys that get sponsorships and stuff. I mean, if it's something that you really stand behind, I mean, I get it. You know, I mean, like I really like AC Infinity products for the most part. I mean, there's certain things I don't like. So when I see someone recommending it, I'm like, well, I agree with that because I've used it myself and I know firsthand, you know, that it's a good product or if it's a bad product and someone's just trying to get some money in their pocket.
Well, you know, my thing is, Jason, and it's hard to talk about it because I never know when it goes from just talking about it to it seems someone could interpret it as me slamming them, and that's not my intentions. But what ended up happening with Canatrol was we actually helped them start their promotion with
They started an affiliate program. We were like one of the testers.
We were like the very first testers for them for their affiliate program. And so it started out as they only wanted to give us a discount. And I said, no, it has to be a discount for the consumer. So we split it with the people, with the buyer. So instead of us getting 100, it was 50 for us and 50 for the buyer off of their Canatrol. So for like a year, it rode like that, you know. And then what happened is they come back and said that they were canceling the program. And then they come back and said, we're actually keeping the program, but it's going to go to, you can no longer use a code because I had a code. It was 50 SMOT. They said, now the only way you can get credit is if someone uses a link. And then they told me you can't post this link on any social media places. It has to be sent privately. And you're the only one that gets a discount. It doesn't go to the consumer anymore. They become too big to be able to offer that to someone like me. So I told them at this point, I have to sever ties because it's not about me just making money. It's about everybody gaining and shit, you know? And so that's where it ended up. That's where it's at. I still love their product and I recommend it and shit, but
we do.
You know, that's the deal there. Some people get big and I guess.
Yeah, I mean, once you get on them too, you become exclusive. You know, like I watched Welcome to the Grow Tent quite a bit too, and you know he's sponsored by Mars Hydro, and he was talking about that one time, and he said that too. Like he can't really run anybody else's products, and he's had offers for other companies for like $10,000, and he's turned it down. But they try to control what you say, and what else you can do on it. He wasn't down for that.
Yeah, I can't do that either, man. So you know, like I said, it's I just and it's not for me at a certain point. Everything ain't for everybody, and that's where I know my lane. You know,
stay in your lane. We're on the low road.
Stay on the low roads. That way,
the high road's wide open. Hey J5, how you doing today, buddy? Good to see you again. I'm so excited to see the
Sunday.
Hey man,
got the blunt going.
Hey man,
awesome.
I love the clothes, man.
I love it.
What an eclectic mix of clothes. You got that cool hat for working in the garden. You got your.
This is an ode to them boys from Vermont throwing down in Chieftown last night. If you know, you know.
I love it. Yellow glasses and a necklace.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
and Bingus for president. Also for your Oregon-grown buds and seeds.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Island.
Oregon, yeah, hell yeah. Hey, last time you was here, we saw the first half of your garden, but we never got to see the second half. Is there any chance you have some time?
Well, here, this is what I'm thinking. So at this property, I basically have 3 main sections to the garden. And I showed you that first one. That was Sunday, or no, that was last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Sunday? It was Wednesday, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about I show you another section this next Wednesday and another section that following Wednesday, if you'll have me back, that is, of course.
Oh my
And then
goodness,
once I
that
show you
would
that
be
Oh,
our
yeah.
pleasure.
you'll see some serious growth.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool way to do it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that'd be a
I
great way to
wanted to
do
show you
it.
what I'm dealing with here today. The dark side of organic growing. Well, any growing really outdoors. If I can flip this camera around.
Take your time, man.
Well, that took it off.
Here, we'll give him some space. How about that? There, Nace. Now you're not. Once you get it turned around, I'll put you back on the big screen. There you go.
There we go. We got it now.
I feel self-conscious if that ever happens to me, especially probably because I usually have a
Oh,
mask
this is
on.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Can you see what I'm showing you?
I
Yep.
can see a little damage. What's going on? The
That
grasshoppers.
nasty word that starts with an S and ends with a toria.
Leaf septoria.
Oh no.
Yes, sir.
Do you have tomatoes growing close to them at all by chance?
I don't, but I just have it in my bed. It's one of those things. If I had thrown another half a foot of mulch on, I probably would have been all right. That seems to be the best preventative I've found so far, is just having a ridiculously thick mulch layer. Because once it's in your soil, it's kind of there. It's like it's around us right now. It's floating around us right now, like everything else is, you know.
Yeah.
Those
It's like
conditions get right,
that,
or it
that
gets
late
flat
blight and
by the
shit.
rain
It
or by
stays in your soil, man.
100%. So, what I found is the best way to deal with it, trying to stay to my organic ways, is I hit them with the hippie sulfur. And it's the new growth that I'm focusing on. Because right now, what I'm about to do is strip this whole entire plant. Any leaf that has even a speck of that stuff on it is coming off. You'll take a hit in yield, maybe a little in quality, but it's about the only chance you have to bring the plant to fruition, you know, the full length.
Yeah.
And if you really hammer down on that new growth and like get it sterile. So I get it sterile as fuck with that sulfur, and then I'll come back and hit it with labs. Maybe throw down and get something like a myco stop or something like that. But definitely going to hit it heavy with lab, silica. Just try to stay ahead of it. If you can get some good guys on that new growth, you know, the septoria can't move in.
Hey, J5, do you do something special with the leaves? I heard if you compost the leaves, sometimes I can keep introducing it year after year.
If it has a spot on it, it goes in the trash can.
Yeah.
I do have a little project going, I could try to show you, where I did collect a whole shit ton. I'm trying to cook it out and see if I can I'd like to be able to use the leaf, is what I'm getting at. So I'm experimenting with ways to still salvage, you know, without passing that bullshit along.
I wonder if baking it or something would take care of it.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. Like I'm tarping it with dark tarps and then wetting it, and I don't know. We'll see. It's. I mean, if you turn it into a soil, I feel like it's got to eventually be clean. But you know, that'll be a couple of years from now. I'll figure out if it works. So yeah, that's about all I think I'm going to show at this moment. So tune in. What is it? Wednesday, and we'll go over the rest of all this stuff.
Right on.
Milkweed. I'm pro milkweed around here.
I see that.
So I don't know. I can sit here and puff with you guys while I strip this plant, but that's about all I have planned at this moment. If anybody else would like to, what am I trying to say? Take me off blast, please.
They Bonsai Garden saying a thermophilic up to 170. Yeah, I think that's considered pasteurization. And if you put it in like somebody was just talking about this, put it in like a black garbage bag, set it in an asphalt driveway for a couple of hot days, tied up. It gets very nasty inside there, very hot, and it pretty much pasteurizes. I think people do like soil and shit like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it on the ground in a compost pile.
But there's a fine line there. Pasteurization only kills like bacteria, and you need like sterilization at like 300 degrees to get rid of virus or something. So there is a very big difference between the two and what they will handle as far as killing things, you know?
Right. Oh, these are the Moon Mountain Kush by Skunk Tech's headband from Mean Gene, some testers. So I'd really like to save these plants because like that sounds like a delicious combo to me. I'm a big headband fan, and sour and OG and chem. So yeah, like in my last the last greenhouse I showed you, like you saw there's like all pretty much candy gas with a couple little things sprinkled in there. Like when you see an Amherst sour amongst all the runts over there, like you know that plant's for me.
Yeah, these ones seem much bigger than the ones over there. Is there a difference in sunlight, or just do you think genetics? Do you think it's the pots?
I pop seeds all the time, so you'll have different. And I like to keep them small. I like small plants. I don't like them to be over 6 feet tall.
Right on.
A lot
I can see
easier
that.
to deal with as a
Me too.
solo farmer, no help these days, you know. So yeah.
I think I'd be the same way, J5. It would feel more manageable. I'd be able to keep like rot down, you know, which would be one of my big fears, I think, would be rot. And it still keeps it to where I can inspect the whole fucking plant instead of getting on a ladder, and excuse my language, but I would definitely, especially if I had the numbers that you have and I didn't adhere to a plant count. I think that's why some people grow in trees.
I'm blown away, and I'm so impressed at all the variety that you have in your garden. It's amazing. It's exciting to see.
It's also because I can, because you know, like I'm still hustling trees. I'm still trying to do all this. You know, still sticking around, hanging on barely. But that's what the kids want. You know, they want that purple gas, purple candy gas. So I'm forced to grow it in a sense. You know. If it was up to me, I would be pulling tarps over freaking, you know, equatorials and growing straight sour OG and chem. But gotta have purple.
Right. They're talking about how to get rid of the septoria. That's a real son of a bitch. I always stress that one. Yeah, let me get him back.
I trash, like I said, I trash everything, every speck of it I see, and I go over these fucking plants with a fine-tooth comb, and I found if I can get, you know, the good guys on that new growth, you can at least stop it, you know, and it's still there, but yeah, that's the only way I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. What are they saying in chat?
They're saying that you can get rid of it. This is from Rolling Smoke, and I can't verify this by any chance, but I like to trust the chat. You know, I feel we have a great chat. You can get rid of septoria with Bacillus subtilis and Trichoderma will kill it.
I have gone that route in the past.
If you had a way to check out you know, some research, somebody who's tried over and over different things, I think that would carry some weight.
I've introduced everything and thrown everything at it but trichoderma. It's the one thing I'm uncomfortable introducing to the garden. So yeah, he's probably right. But the bacillus alone, I haven't. I've had it come back.
I know it's like I asked Matthew Gates one time if it was okay to compost the leaves that have powdery mildew and shit, and he said that through a proper, how did he say it? By the time it gets to the end of a proper composting cycle, it has been fully whatever. I forget the word he used. He speaks very you know, he's a pretty smart guy, but I know not all things are like that.
It's,
you know,
safe after a certain amount of time, and yeah, you're gonna want to find that out, of course.
Is that the heat build up, or
I think, yeah, I'm going to assume, yeah, and probably
they do get pretty warm.
Yeah.
I think powdery mildew needs, like, it's like anything else. It needs the three main things to survive. And I think once we outdo one of those, the house of cards falls. And also probably other bacteria that are in there chowing down on it. Like you said, heat, lack of light, or whatever they thrive on. But it's scary to put shit like that into a compost, man, and kind of rely on Mother Nature. If you don't know, like with Septoria, like I know it's a lot different, but my old man's dealing with, he gets that late blight on his tomatoes every year, man. Like halfway through the season, he starts losing all of his leaves. And by the time I feel like he should still be kicking a lot of tomatoes, he's already done. And ours kicks for like another month and a half. And it's because of that late blight. And we found through extensive research, the only way to get rid of it is either not grow there for like 5 years, to not grow tomatoes there, and it will die. Or they say you can like burn the soil or like sterilize it, which when you have the size of garden my old man has, to get that first 10, 12 inches sterilized, you're talking mega work, man.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So it is tough, and when you don't know, it can really looks like, yeah, he's taking off his. You taking your netting down?
That just I hate trellis. It was needed last year, so you can see how I had it stretched out there. You can see where I cut it out. This plant right here, this plant right here, it has it's completely cut out. I needed it last year for a plant, so it's up. I don't think I'm gonna have to use it this year.
Right on. If it's not necessary, I can see why you don't want it.
No, it's just a pain in the ass come harvest time.
Cheers to the chat. Couple new people in the chat there, new to the show. I see Miranda Family Farms.
What up, Miranda?
Yeah. Man, we got Stoned In 604. Seen them around before.
Did Levels close his show again and send them over?
Maybe.
He does that every week, So that's cool.
Yeah, see it. Those good gromies, man.
Yeah.
Awesome gromies.
He's also of the belief that rising tides raise all ships, man, and collaboration over competition. That's something that's quite a joy to see it growing in the community and other channels and stuff.
Absolutely. I like that. I was on his show the other night.
Yeah, I stopped by the other night for a little bit. I was like, I hear Art, man. Somebody was on there.
That's funny.
Yeah, I could hear him.
Well, I go over there and press some rosin. I don't think he has a lot of people pressing rosin. This is something different for his show. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, sure.
They're a fun time. He plays music and everything. Yeah. He's a little bit better with the controls,
Yeah.
Tech. He's a tech guy, a better tech guy, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody's a better tech guy than me. So.
Same here with us.
Oh, you're better than me, Crispy, by far. So you're humble.
Here's Supreme Grape, Marcus, Decoy, a few other people there. Supreme says he's listening while hunting fish. I like that.
What kind of fish are you hunting?
Spearfishing.
Bow and arrow with the line hooked to it. You guys ever see that? And then they reel it in?
I have one of those heads.
Do you?
For carp. Yeah, it's for carp. Large carp. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Be like Tom Hanks on Castaway throwing that spear about a half a football field away, killing a fish.
Right on.
I'd do it.
Trout season, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught using it on trout or bass or anything like that, though. They frown upon that.
Yeah.
They will send you to jail. Man. Yeah, they'll send you to jail if you start spear fishing or bow and arrow.
Dynamite fishing.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, they really like that.
Do they really not let you? Like that seems like a primitive way to fish. I'm surprised that the Game Commission wouldn't let like
Now,
with
there's
a
places in the
sticker.
Northwest they allow Native Americans to use their old traditional ways of harvesting salmon and stuff like that. But no, not around here. You can't do that. No, it's game fish.
Yeah, that's a little bit extreme, man. Throwing dynamite in water, and you're gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of collateral damage there.
I don't think you can do that anywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
This is why this is one of the big debates about people. I see people, they're saying, you know, buying licensings for something that should be my right and stuff. And I'm thinking the reason we have to buy a license is so that we can stop someone from wiping out a species or dynamite fishing for trout and doing all this
Poaching.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
So you have
Poaching
to
of any kind.
Yeah, you got to have like some kind of measures in place with the good people that are trying to look for it. But you know, everybody's.
That's why, like, I'm surprised. Like, it would be harder. Like, you can go out and get yourself, you know, a fishing pole. It's going to be a lot easier than, you know, whittling a stick and using it as a spear to catch a fish. You'd think that they'd let you do something like that, but I guess I was wrong.
Nope.
Go all wild. Are you allowed to catch
Game
them?
wardens, yeah, game wardens tend to frown on that. You don't want to use a rifle either.
Yeah.
I understand the rifle.
Get somebody crazy on that spear. They'll just start stabbing that water like crazy, and next thing you know, half the fish population's gone.
I actually have a good friend of mine who's a game warden for Pennsylvania. My wife and I just recently saw him at an event. He had a tent set up and was showing off like trapped animal furs. And I got to say, the game wardens are a different breed when it comes to, say, law enforcement, if you will, because this guy is all about just taking care of the animals and what's right, you know, and what's good. And
he's truly a conservationist.
Yeah, man. And like, if he comes upon you and you're like toking a joint and fishing, he's not going to care at all. You know, he's that type of dude. I worked with this guy pouring concrete when I was younger for like 5 years. And every day he talked about trapping and hunting and how he wanted to be a game warden. And I'll shit you not, one day he showed up to work. He goes, "This is my last week. I made it into game warden school." And I was like, "Oh, you know, that's cool, whatever." And sure enough, we kind of stayed in touch here and there, and he doesn't live far from me. And so I have a great respect for those people, you know. And when it comes to law enforcement, they protect our lands. They keep people from starting massive grow-offs out in the woods and leaving a bunch of garbage and shit. He said that's his only problem with cannabis is people leaving jugs and plastic and setting up booby traps and all kind of shit in the woods, man, on game lands, you know, and that is fucked up. Somebody in their
big problem in California. Yeah, they have a lot of that.
You know, I enjoy the wild outside, and I'm a big time supporter of conservation.
Yeah, I got busted one time fishing without a license. I got fined. That was like right after This is like right after high school. Though. This is a long time ago, and yeah, that dude was like off in the woods with some binoculars catching me because we were looking out too.
Yeah,
it was me,
they can be sneaky as hell, man.
He was too. It was me, my cousin. Yeah. My cousin had his license on him, and I was just kind of hanging out. And I was fishing too, though, and we were looking out for cars, and we saw his car come up, and I walked away, and I tried to play it off like I wasn't. He's like, "I wouldn't be talking to you if you weren't." So he gave me a fine. He's like, "You can pay $90 now, or pay $120 in court." So I wrote him a check.
Right on.
Yeah.
Smart and I a few times have been witness to people getting busted without license from the game wardens.
I've been on my kayak before, and in Pennsylvania, we have to buy a boat launch pass just to be able to send my kayak in. And I've never complained about buying that sticker every year.
It's not very expensive.
Not very expensive, and it goes, and after talking to my buddy, they tell you where the money goes to or where it's supposed to go to. Anyhow, I guess I feel like it's kind of part of my duty to be involved in that. I you know, every year fishing license and shit goes up and it pisses us all off. But honestly, when you're out there standing in the stream and it's not polluted and there's not a bunch of assholes camping on the shore shooting with needles and all kind of, you know, all that shit comes into play, man, that we don't think about. And
there are fish. There are actually fish in the river.
Yeah.
And they do stock it. You know, they stock. And
man.
A lot of stuff.
I don't even know how much it is for a fishing license anymore. I think the last time I bought one, it was like $20, but that was at least 15 years ago. And I know my uncle. He used to hunt quite a bit. So he bought a lifetime hunting and fishing license. I think it was like $500.
Yeah, my dad bought one
That's
too.
a good move.
You got to be retired though. I think you got to be above retirement age in Pennsylvania to buy a lifetime fishing and hunting pass, but I could be wrong. Hey, bonsai garden guys with us, and what a garden I'm seeing. How's it going, buddy?
Beautiful garden, buddy.
Oh, it's been quite a feat trying to keep up on all this stuff right now.
Hey, buddy.
So
Good to see you, man.
yeah, this is the tomato side right here, black cherry. I have a pink Berkeley tie-dye somewhere in here and some purple Cherokees. And we have our cucumber. This thing's about 9 foot tall right now.
My God.
Wow.
Yeah, so these posts are 10 footers right here. If I were to take that vine, it would go well up over the top. And
Hey,
of
buddy,
course,
can you turn your phone sideways? We'll get a better view.
I think so. There we go.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there we are.
We have to cruise around and look for like every couple of days we're harvesting cucumbers. You can see them kind of coming in everywhere. And then tomatoes are just getting started, but we have our whole melon. This is all melons right here. 12 different varieties.
Wow. I love
You are
melon.
cranking it, man.
Oh no.
I love seeing
Your melon
this.
right there. It actually turns bright orange. Personal. Super sweet, and it's actually kind of strange. They taste like a honeydew with an after hue of tomato.
What?
Wow.
Tomato.
Oh, my phone must be on.
That's wild.
Oh, yeah. We can come down here and look at these real quick. That's a canary melon.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Another canary melon. Turn around right here. This is our cantaloupe row, and there's actually 3 different types in here. Let me see if I can.
You're breaking up a little bit, bonsai. We might have to move just a little bit slower to keep it from chalking out on us.
His grow is always fantastic. That's amazing.
Oh,
looks like
and
he's
that's one plant.
on us.
This is all one plant right here. As you can see, it gets pretty massive.
Wow.
And then we have Hale's Jumbo down here. It's struggling because it's competing with our Hearts of Gold. We have a nice one going in right here. And then garden that we have going on. I mean, it's like I said, constant battle. These are all honeydew right here. Orange honeydew, green honeydew, and then of course our canaries. And then on this side, got to fight my. This little guy here is actually a Mexican gherkin. It's like so. Hopefully, here with this one's a Kajari melon. Not a lot of folks heard of that. It actually has like a blue skin to it, which is really cool. And then sugar baby watermelon right here. We'll get a pantyhose on this and we'll get it supported. We have some more watermelons coming up right now, but this is like the fruit side. And then of course we start looking at the other side over here. Yeah, jalapeno is a non-spicy jalapeno. Same flavor, just no spice.
No spice.
No spice.
I've never heard of that.
Flavor. Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's a hybrid, and the reason that we grow it, they like the flavor of jalapeno, but found these, and I was absolutely blown away by the flavor.
Sounds great.
For the spice to hit me, wait, never came. Just had that nice jalapeno flavor. We have gypsy sweet peppers right here, and these things that they're so hard to keep up with. Then of course our regular jalapenos right here, strawberry and pineberry patch. And pine berries, I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with lychee. Oh no, our spices and stuff are actually in hanging pots. So we've got all of that. Let me see if I can slide over here. We're doing some yard work today. And then of course, we have some really healthy soil. We got some mushrooms coming up. Let's see if we can slide over here. You guys can take a look at the greenhouse as well. So we have the 10-inch AC Infinity shutter fans up there, and they are on a controller as well. And then I have a mist system that actually runs this. And we keep it, even though it's we get 100-degree days pretty consistent here. I can keep this place 85 degrees all day.
Nice.
Those are a couple boys. They're from my breeding project from the Nakatomi Sunset. I just wanted to get them separated away from all the other girls. This is zucchini. That's one plant. So
Wow.
you've got some massive blossoms on here. This thing's tiny compared to last year. Yeah.
What are you feeding them things? Jeez, that's huge.
Yeah. Some kind of beetle ate our stuff, man. I think that's what it was called.
God, that thing is massive. Oh, we froze up.
Melon borer bug. We lost you, Bonsai.
Oh no. You guys got
There
me
we are.
Yeah,
We're back.
That gets fed nothing. 100% nothing. But then again, when I lived here like this, it was all barren dirt and just there was no life. I had it soil tested, no nutrients. It took me about 3 years to repair the soil out there in the yard. Over here in the garden area, when I was a little kid, we used to amend it with abalone guts, a lot of sea-based creatures, quote unquote. It's what we used to do, and this is the result. This literally all season has not been fed a single thing. And last year I had a 16-foot zucchini plant. So I'm kind of mortified because it's on the same pace right now. So we have some.
How many zucchinis do you get from a 16-foot zucchini plant?
On average, we were harvesting anywhere between 12 to 20 per day.
Oh my God.
Day.
You're trying to get rid of zucchinis left and right, leaving them in people's cars and at work. And
well, we make zucchini bread, and then we have a family recipe that we do that's like soy sauce, oyster sauce, a little bit of sesame oil sauteed up with onions, garlic, ginger, and then you go ahead and you cube up your zucchini, and you just simmer. Goes great over rice, noodles, you name it. So we'll move on to the veggie side. These are poblanos. We have some nice poblanos coming in right now. Unfortunately, she snapped a branch from getting too freaking heavy. Well, I mean, pros and cons to that. It means you're growing it well, right? And then our lettuce, it started bolting, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this here probably within the next.
we're froze up again.
I like fried zucchini.
Man, that guy's got a hell of a garden. We got a couple of guys here who really grow vegetables.
I know.
These are onions. These are our
different
onions.
level. Yeah.
These are our red sweet. We have about 20 days left before harvest, and I can.
Oh, yum. That looks great too.
I mean, and then we have Walla Walla right here. So we'll have a total of about, I don't know, 100, 110 onions or something like that. We go ahead, we dry them, and we do a good cure on them because if you cure onions correctly, they can last up to 3 to 4 months. Most people don't know that. It's just the store-bought stuff with the ethylene and everything like that. When they do the ripening and stuff, it accelerates that process. And then here, I'll come in here and see if I can find some jalapenos for you guys. See, they look exactly the same as a jalapeno. The only difference that I have found is that they're just a little bit lighter in color. Plants are about, I don't know, 3 foot tall. And then the Gypsy Sweets are like a very mild bell pepper. Very, very
Oh, I
mild
like the bell
green bell pepper.
peppers.
This one's actually almost ready for harvest, and they actually turn bone color. That's how you know they're ready.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's a
That's what I like though. I like those.
Me
oh,
too.
yeah. And then this is the jalapenos we got coming in over here. I mean, this thing's freaking got them everywhere. I can't even get them all. Oh, looks like I got a bunch to harvest today too. Shucks.
You got a lot of
Such
work
a
to do,
bad
buddy.
life having to harvest every day. Just kidding. This one's got a few here on the back. I'd like to let some turn red, so I can really kick up that capsaicin and try and blow my own face off with that heat. But
Ooh.
that's what these guys are for. These are the habaneros, and you can see there. All of my peppers get topped just like a cannabis plant. You top your peppers, you double your yield.
Okay, I got a
Okay.
question for you. I've heard
Okay.
if you plant jalapenos next to habaneros, the jalapenos get hotter. Is that true or not?
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
That is very true.
Okay.
And then you can see the size of this habanero, and I mean they're strewn throughout, and you can see they're definitely not done growing. Our habaneros.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's still got more back there, and then of course the strawberry.
Oops.
Did he say strawberries?
Initially started at 8 plants, and we went ahead, and you can see some of the runners here. We guide the runners around to fill out the entire bed. And of course, I mean,
that's amazing. Dude, you're a great gardener.
well, it's part of our culture. I'm Korean. So Korean and Japanese, we're huge into agriculture. I do practice KNF as well. We just call it farming because we're Korean. So
Right.
we got what else we got going on in here? Oh, looks like we have some more of these today too. Oh my. So we got a pretty busy day over here in the garden. We're gonna make potato buckets for both of those. The sweet potatoes will be inside the greenhouse because sweet potatoes love heat. They love heat. Let's see if we got any. Got one little guy right there, but you can see right there, those are what the female zucchini and all squashes basically grow like that. And I do let the pollinators do their job, but I also hand pollinate as well. And that's actually really easy to do. Hopefully I can.
Nice shot.
That is a nice shot.
You can take whenever the female's open. Female's always open either at dawn or dusk. That's a little tip for everybody if you're looking to do self-pollination. Early or late, they'll open up for you. So the males generally come out around this time. It's about 10 a.m. where I am. And then the garden gets really busy. We've got 6 different types of pollinators that roll through for us. So, and then this girl right here is a comfrey. And I've whacked her down a couple times. This is actually what I feed our worm bin is comfrey. And it's kind of something that I took from Clackamas Coot. So Crazy Coot.
Right on.
Right there. That's what I use that for. So yeah, this is consistently what we have going on basically every season. And the melons are always I call it the winning crop because here in Nevada, we're actually part of the melon belt. Most people don't know that. They just think we're just a stricken desert, and we're not. I am in northern Nevada, and we are high desert, meaning we get all seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Oh, good Lord.
Huh.
My God. But yeah, I figured I'd take you guys for a cruise around the veggie garden. Love seeing the cannabis gardens, but I love seeing people cultivate their own food. It's probably one of the best things that you can do. Usually I have my kids out here with me. My oldest had a friend stay the night, so they're, let's stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So
to be young again.
oh yeah, God, if I could make it till 2 a.m. Whew,
You have one of the best gardens we've seen on here. I gotta say, it looks
Yeah.
wonderful.
True.
And
Congratulations.
this one was a fresh build.
I like all the different beds and how you can walk between them and the varieties, and that's appealing to me. Having it's nice and neat.
A lot of work out there.
Oh yeah.
There's a well, this right here is a concept for a small farm. I really downsized it because at the end of the day, that's actually what we're looking to do. We want to have a small food farm, but we want to grow not the mainstream things. And it's amazing the things that you can find out there just by doing a little bit of research. Like this Tigger melon right here is the start. And
Damn.
So what do you do with all that? Do you sell it like at a farmer's market or something?
off of
He's got kids; they eat a lot.
Yeah, he does.
here in Nevada.
We're
The
losing you,
Bonsai
Bonzo.
Pro
Yeah.
has more vegetables, twice as many vegetables as I have varieties. I got a lot of shit.
Yeah, these
Garden, bro.
yeah, I encourage everybody, if you can literally make it so that you can have really good fresh food year round. I mean, like I'm blessed to have the greenhouse. Okay, that greenhouse cost about $1,000. Everything, including fans and all of that, we're probably up to about $1,200. But you can find a crop for every single season. And as soon as the fall comes, we'll go ahead and we'll get our lettuce and everything replanted again. We'll do our broccoli, our cauliflower, and things like that. And we'll run those inside the greenhouse during the wintertime. And I mean, here in Nevada, northern Nevada, we've been in a heat wave. We've been over 100, like 105 up to about 107. And then in the wintertime, we get down to the single digits, sometimes the negatives. So, I mean, I do kind of have a unique growing environment, I guess you could say. But yeah, I encourage everybody to do this. The other side of it, none of this gets sprayed. Not a single insecticide, not a pesticide, not a herbicide, nothing gets.
Wow.
I don't do anything like that. I don't believe in it. If you have a well-balanced ecosystem in your garden, everything will take care of itself.
Yes, sir.
You know, some of the store-bought stuff, you know, it's already been sprayed. Regardless whether it's organic or whether it's, you know, quote unquote, salt-based grow, it's been sprayed at one point or another. And there's tons of pests hidden within veggies.
Kill your lawn. Grow more vegetables.
Yeah, I will. But with the kids, you know, we like to have them have their little play area, and it's awesome. We have, you know, the pitties as well, so the dogs get to go out there and bask in the sun. So I would, but we're actually looking to get a bigger property here in Nevada so that we can do.
We lost you, Bonsai. You must be jumping back between Wi-Fi and cellular, or you know.
Super
Nope.
tour.
Yeah.
That's I hate when that happens.
I
man.
know.
It's always the good gardens too. You know, it's
I can
never
throw a
like
couple plants quick.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
I'm sitting
J5.
My land of more personal stuff, I guess. I'd say.
So personal, the personal
like
stuff.
I've made or homies have made or gifts that, you know, just like little things I populate to just have as like yard plants.
Hey,
This is kind of neat actually. When I stuck these seeds in the soil, can you tell which half of the pot was properly watered? Probably not very good. I can move it. What the heck? Anyway, this plant, these 4 here are twice the size of the 11 of the 12 pops. But I had this half properly watered. This half wasn't. I'm like, I put the seeds down and I throw a garbage can lid over the top of it. It's like a little humidity dome, so they pop. And yeah, this side took forever to come out of the ground. One of them didn't. I think that has to do with watering. Then I have some other little plants of mine. I've got some hillbilly herbs in a pot.
Nice.
Gorilla poison. A couple other little project plant testers. Another little tester. And here I have Mendocino 2020. They're calling them fast flowers, or I don't know what, one or the other. One of those auto photo crosses. This one is budding.
I've heard of them. G-Bay had one like that. That's cool. I'd like to see the end of that one. I want to know what happened.
Worked a couple of them out to lines now. This one's got some kind of little bugger on it. Oops, there he goes. Something making a nest there. This is a mystery pot. One volunteer. The rest were just mislabeled and I got tossed in the pot. These are kind of cool plants here. These are 2 strawberry soft plants that again were late start, like the latest of all these plants out here. But that's courtesy of the homie Benny Ben. Shout out Benny Ben. It's good to see you around again. Yeah, this is from Monkey Dew. I had 2 white widows also, but the freaking slugs ate them.
Which one was Monkey Dews? What strain?
2 little strawberry cough stems.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of strawberry cough. They say that's a good one too.
That's the one I had to kill off.
I wish I had started them earlier and given them a proper life, I guess I'd say.
Well, you'll get
it
something.
Is what it is. I'll get to taste them. There'll be a couple,
You get a taste.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm pissed that those slugs got 2 white widows. I was kind of excited about that one too. This little Bubba looking thing. Some rainwater. Some ferment, some WCA. Okay, that's about that. J5 over and out.
It's a great looking garden, dude. Can never dog it.
Those bonsai
good,
bags?
man.
Yeah, I think so.
Word. Well, hey, thanks for having me on, everybody.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Look forward to the next time.
Big up.
Yeah, come back Wednesday.
Artman and XYZ. Okay, Jace. Thanks again.
I want to see those.
Crispy.
I want to see those fast bud things. Come back when they're further along.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Definitely come back Wednesday, next Sunday. This garden's very impressive. Just like yours, bonsai, man. You have very impressive garden. Like Artman said, one of the nicest outside gardens, vegetable gardens.
A huge mix of everything.
I love the variety.
Well planned. I mean, that thing is so. It's beautiful.
He's got more vegetables than a freaking store.
Yeah.
He does. All these can't compete.
Yeah. Well, what I like to do is, I contact people via Instagram and stuff like that, folks who follow me. And when we get towards the end of the season, I like to send out care packages for. So if you guys want, hit me up. Let me know. Let me know what kind of melons you guys like or what kind of profiles you're looking for when you eat a melon, and I'm pretty sure I got something to match it. So I'll send you out a care package. It's not a big deal to me. Sharing is caring. So, yeah.
Hey, you got a melon that tastes like ribs or something?
I wish.
I'm kidding, man.
But if you're leaning towards like the savory stuff, you're going to be looking more like mouse melons and things that are in the Tigger Kajari melon family. They're all still from the melon family. A Melonis cucubrit, I think is what they call it.
That is a very generous offer.
But
Thank
like
you.
this,
Well, thank
this
you.
cantaloupe right here is this is a floral cantaloupe. So it's real fruity. It's got a very nice flowery, sweet flavor to it. And then the Hales Jumbo. And I don't know if you guys have had Hearts of Gold, but Hearts of Gold is one of the things that Nevada is actually known for. Quite a bit bigger. I mean, at the end of the day, well,
I thought I was.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought I was me. I'm sitting here talking to my wife. I thought I was me. Like, oh, dude's trying to call me. I interrupted you. I apologize.
God, you got so
No,
many
you're good.
melons.
These
I'd love
are
to try some of those. Jeez, there's so many varieties.
Yeah, there's some of the stuff that we grow. People look at me puzzled and they're like, "What is even that?"
How many melons you got? How many types?
12.
Nice. Damn, that's
12 as of currently, and I can go through all of them. Orange honeydew. A lot of people sell this as candylope, so it's a common misnomer out there. They're full of. It's an orange honeydew. Like that's the only way I know how to put it. You can see my pollinators are starting to come out in force right now, so I'm like, oh no, I don't want to interfere. So orange honeydew, green honeydew. Most folks know what a green honeydew is. And then the canary melon. A lot of folks call them a yellow melon as well. A lot of these melons get up to 6-7 pounds. Well, at least in my garden they do. They get pretty massive. It's a healthy serving. And then, like I said, French Charente or green melon. We have bow, but I'm not a huge fan of the Hales Jump cantaloupe. They're just big. They don't have a lot of flavor, in my opinion. The Hearts of Gold is another one that's falsely marketed sometimes as candylope. They're full of shit. Hearts of Gold is its own thing. We actually have a huge festival here in the northern Nevada area. Oh yeah, here. If you guys get a chance, these things are freaking awesome. I'll tell you what.
Oh no, he's cutting out right when he's telling us.
All right, so we have the mouse melon here, or Mexican gherkin is another name for it. Tastes like cucumber and lime combined. This one's Kajari right here. And then, of course, our Tigger melon. Three red crimson and one yellow crimson watermelon. So phenotypes versus varieties of every type. Easy to and they lasted the entire season. So always keep that in mind. If you guys ever want to grow melons and think you don't have vertical farming, and even if you only have just a patio or anything like that, you can still cultivate. So yeah, I'm about to jump off here. You can tell we have. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the garden tour. Thanks again for having me on. And then of course, like I said, come like September, October, if you guys want to hit me up on Instagram, you're curious about certain melon varieties that we have, let me know. I'll send you out a care package. It'll give you an opportunity to try them. And then, of course, you can save the seeds, have melons of your own next year of that variety if you really enjoy them. So. Lots of work to do back there. Lots to harvest. So I will see you guys here in the chat.
Great garden. Great garden. Thank you.
That's a beautiful garden.
Unreal.
It is beautiful. Amazing.
Oh man.
He left.
Maybe he said he was going.
Yeah,
to.
he said he was going, but he yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, I don't know if I've really seen vegetables growing on an actual plant. I've just seen them in the grocery store. That was cool.
Yeah, that was really, really awesome garden tour. I can't believe the variety of melons in his garden.
See, that's what's always held me up from growing. We don't really eat vegetables here at our household, so it'd have to be something like in the fruit variety. But I don't know what all I could grow here that, as far as climate wise. Yeah, strawberries could grow here. I know watermelons do.
Yeah, I've never had much luck with melons, watermelon. I tried to grow it before. Cantaloupe, I wasn't successful. But I know a lot. That was a lot younger then, and I know a lot more now. They take a lot of space. They take a lot of space. So Smot and I we're just now starting to grow. We're gonna expand our garden next year. Maybe we'll throw some.
I know
melons.
Miranda Family Farms was here earlier, and I know they have good reputation of that. They grow a lot of stuff, kind of like bonsai on a large scale. And then whenever people buy seeds, I've heard that they send out like a bunch of lettuce and tomatoes and all these different seeds, and people are always amazed at what they get. So I think if you get a chance to support them as well, they maybe they're in your area or whatever, check them out.
Yeah,
that was cool seeing. I like seeing the big gardens, man. Wish I had more time just to focus on gardening. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Oh man, I can't imagine how much time that would take right there. I couldn't imagine having a full-time job and still doing that.
I'd imagine he has help. He has to have help on that. That's a big place.
Yeah.
That is huge. I mean, he's got, and look at the plants were thriving.
And you only have a certain amount of time to get them in,
Exactly, XYZ. And he did in fact state that he usually has his kids out there. You would need them to help, and they are doing an excellent job.
Yep. Well, since we've gone away from being an agrarian culture, I mean, our population's, replacements, I mean, the birth rate's going down.
Oh, yeah. Lots of farmers had lots of kids for labor, that's for sure. Part of the culture.
It is weird how that all works out. I remember that story we heard about switching over from an agrarian culture, and it was from people getting like bigger farms and bringing other people in from like other areas to help work these big farms. And then there's all the money, and it was like a whole laid out scenario of how we got here and turned into an industrial people. And then we had that whole talk about the victory gardens and shit, and how much people's gardens have dropped and declined and amazingly like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
In World War II, they had, that whole victory garden thing going on. And then it's just like, I don't know, we was reading the statistics of how it dropped. And that's why, because of pesticides, commercial farming brings it right to your produce stand for 59 cents for a bushel of tomatoes, or whatever, being facetious, but that's a big reason why. But then I think a lot of people just kind of got blindsided by what they've been consuming over the last 40 years or 50 years. And now it's starting to come back around to where people are taking a conscious look at what's in their food.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're producing for a whole city, I mean, that type of scale, you can't. Failure's not an option.
I get it. I get both sides.
Yeah. I'd love to grow like banana trees or oranges or pineapples, but I know they won't grow here in this climate. It gets too cold in the winter.
Yeah, I would have a banana tree too. It's my favorite.
I would tear those up. That's why I don't do vegetables though. I can't be eating no vegetables unless it's fried. And I got some ranch dressing to dip it in.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
that's cheating, man. That's like making rib flavored veggies.
Uh-huh.
See, I like to have the big salad.
Yeah.
I like my vegetables too, but I'm with you. I like that fried food as well, and put bacon on everything, right?
Bacon
I put
makes
that shit
everything
on
better.
everything.
And we're down to like the last 5 minutes here. I gotta say that it's been a treat seeing some of those big gardens lately. I always enjoy the outside gardens. I saw Scrubs and Shrubs stop by a lot earlier and said hello. And I miss seeing his big trees out there. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on with work and everything. Some of the other people that used to grow some big trees, you know how it is. People come and go, life changes. And so it's cool to be able to see some sun grown. That's something we don't get to see a lot of. And the vegetables too. I'm a big fan of growing vegetables and growing shit that I never grown before. Watch it. I didn't know pumpkins had spikes on them like that till we grew one. So there you go. It's always learning, right?
Constantly.
That it is.
We got bonsai offering all those seeds, and that just goes hand in hand with the spirit and the community that we try to be a part of here on our show and stuff. So hats off to everybody that's sharing seeds. Artman gave away a bunch of seeds over the last couple months, and all the people that's come on and donated and shit like that. I think it's makes a special person, and it really stands out. Big respect. So with
Big respect to this community,
Yeah, man.
everyone in chat, and everyone.
giving other people the power to grow their own mouse melons or all those different melons, and I like that. So cheers everybody, and we're down the last couple minutes. We'll go around the horn, give our shout outs, starting with XYZ Geeking Out Vector.
Yeah, just been shopping for solar cells. But anyways, thanks for having me on, and thanks for the panel and to chat, and I will see you guys around.
Thanks, XY. Yeah, Brian, staple pulling party.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody hop in your buggies and come on down.
Bring your knee pads.
Come down and bring some pliers. Up next is Jace.
I was just about to say, Smart, man, if you live closer to me, I would love pulling staples with you, but you're way too far away, so I can't do that.
Darn it, Jace.
Darn it.
Darn it.
What's 1,280 miles between friends, brother?
Hey, you better have some good weed waiting on me when I get there. That's all I got for.
These look great, man. We appreciate you coming by and showing them to us on a consistent basis.
Yeah, thanks. Always good being here. Thanks again, Smart Christy, for hosting. Cheers to the panel here, XYZ, Artman. It's cool seeing Bonsai and J5 on here, and cheers to the chat. And we will see you guys next time.
Thank you, Jace. And Artman, you're up next, last but not least. And it was awesome to see the grow and the new equipment you're rocking in there.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I still got to dial it in a little bit. I'm not familiar with it yet, but I'll get it.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, Artman 2 N's 420 _ over at Instagram. You can find me over at Cocoa for Cannabis. You can find me at Percy's Grow Room. You can find me at Caribou Heart TV in their Discord. So, and thanks for having me. That was outstanding garden episode.
Yes.
Those guys are amazing.
Love that shit, man, for sure. We'll see everybody next time on Wednesday, and
grow love.
Grow love.
Roll up.
Peace.